Welcome to the Rockabye Revenue Podcast with me, Abby Watson. I'm a mum of 4 and a business strategist, and I train people to become hypnobirthing teachers. In the last decade, I've built a thriving baby business that grew beyond my wildest dreams. This podcast is for you if you run a business or dream of running a business in the birth and baby industry. You want to change lives whilst making more money. I'm talking about creating sustainable income whilst being present for the people that matter most. I believe for our baby businesses to have the impact we desire, we must be rewarded. On this podcast, expect me to share actionable strategies without the jargon. I've been where you are. I've built a business while raising 4 little ones, and now I'm here to help you turn your passion into profit while creating the life you've always dreamed of. So let's get started. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Rockabye Revenue Podcast. I am here to talk to you today about being visible as the face of your business, even when it feels super scary, even when you would rather hide. Now, you might be at, the stage of your business where you're quite used to showing yourself, but you still might have tons of nerves around it. And you might know that you could do even more and actually make life super easier for yourself if you could get over that fear of being seen, being seen as you, as the front person, as your business. Or you might be at the stage of your business where you're just starting out and you see that actually it's really beneficial to show yourself, to show photos of you, to show who you are, and it feels really scary and you're avoiding it, Maybe you're even someone who's like, I couldn't run a business because I'd be just too scared of being that public, and being seen. And maybe you're someone that just doesn't do that on social media anyway. So to feel like you were doing it for a business is scary. Now, firstly, let me tell you that I have trained people that have never really had a presence on social media personally. They've never been on social media themselves particularly. They've done a little bit of, spying on people, but they've never really been public on their own social media pages. And they started a business and they know that that'd be really beneficial for them to do. And they've done it, even though it's scary. And I can think of one person that really stands to mind that nearly didn't become a hypnobirthing teacher because of this. She felt that she just wouldn't be able to, share photos of her, yet she knew it was likely to be really important. And I just love seeing her pop up on my social media, and I think, my goodness, she did it. She did it because she knew it was important and she knew it was going to have so many benefits. So that's what we're here to talk about today. We're going to talk about why, being the face of your baby business is so important, how it can absolutely help you have more success, how you can get over some of the hurdles, feeling like you don't look good enough, or feeling like, the photos or what you share must be perfect. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some practicalities as well. And I really want you to leave this really seeing how you can do this more and how beneficial this is going to be for your business. Now, personally, this was something that scared me so much. It really did. And in all honesty, when I started my business a decade ago, nobody had known it was my business, I did not share anything that was a photo of me. I spent time having a logo made. I used random pictures of stuff that I used to teach the classes, but I never shared a photo of me. And I don't know what changed, as in I don't know why it changed. I don't know whether I'd actually heard some kind of business guru talk about the importance of people feeling like they make that personal connection before they invest, that made me think, oh, I need to share the odd photo. And honestly, it hugely impacted my business. It hugely impacted my business. And by sharing the odd photo of me, I could definitely see that people were interacting more with my business. And also, it built me up to be able to one day speak on video. That didn't happen overnight. And I'm sure, if you listen to this podcast, you could be forgiven in thinking that, I must be so confident on camera, so confident getting my message out there. Well, it hasn't always been the case. Please know that I am 10 years down the line. It has definitely been step by step, expanding my comfort zones, and that absolutely did start by sharing simple things like my photo. Let's also think quite practically about this as well. If you're running a business, you might choose to use social media to promote your services. You might even have a website. If you are going to share photos of you, it really does make finding content so much easier. If you can write some stuff down and you share a photo of you, absolutely makes things easier, because we can all just get a photo of ourselves. We can take a blooming selfie if we want to, So it does make things easier. But why is it so important? Now, I know most people listening to this run a service business or are looking to run a service business working in the birth and baby world. Now, if you run services, your clients are likely to work really closely with you. They're likely to spend time in your company. To feel like they've been able to build connection before that absolutely matters. Now, it matters in all sorts of businesses, but certainly in such personal services like what we offer. And ultimately, when we see a face, a person, we connect with that so much more quickly, because actually as humans we have this innate ability to be attracted to faces much more quickly than anything else, because as humans we are there to connect with others, to form community, to build relationships. So seeing another human face does that so much more quickly. And research has even been done on this. Research has shown that ads are 11 times more likely to be engaged with that shows a human face as opposed to no faces. 11 times! That is huge, Also, there's been research by Yahoo that looked at Instagram posts. And Instagram posts that featured a human face had 38% more likelihood of likes and comments on. That human connection is huge, And it's practically quite easily. It's practically easy. The hurdles are often with the mindset side of it. The nerves of showing yourself, The feeling of, oh my gosh, only if I look my best, The feeling of, oh my gosh, are people going to think that I'm posing, I'm wanting attention? You are doing this not because you are vain. You are doing this because it is important to your business. Now, another reminder of how important this is, think about if you were looking for a service. You were looking for, I don't know, a personal trainer, a life coach. I don't know, you were going to attend a course. Would you be likely to have a look to see if there was a photo of that person there? Not because you're judging them on how they look, but it helps you feel like, all right, okay, they seem like someone I can get along with, That's what so many of us do. I know I do. I want to find out a little bit more about the person behind the business. Add to this that these days it is super easy for businesses to pop up here and there. And subconsciously, we are looking for businesses to show their credibility. We are looking to see if businesses are the real deal. And when we see a human face, when we see that there's a person behind that, even better if we hear them talking as well, it puts us more at ease and we build trust with that company. And that's why even huge companies like Facebook shows the founder. We see pictures of Mark Zuckerberg. We're never going to work with him. When we log into Facebook, we don't have that personal connection with Mark Zuckerberg, but actually them sharing his image helps us build trust with that company and helps us connect with it on a human level. This is so important. Now, your business might be quite a small business, not a huge company. And that is an absolute superpower. You are more able to build that connection with potential clients and clients. They're going to feel that, they have this relationship with you even before they have met you. And one thing that always sticks in my mind is this phrase, people buy from people. And it's so true. Think about, 70 years ago, when people only ever did buy things on their local high street, their local village. They'd go down and maybe they'd be, 3 bakeries. Where would they go? They would go to the one that they were familiar with. The one where the person behind the counter chats to them. The one where they feel they know them a bit. They've built that personal connection and they're so much more likely to go to that place and give their money. When we are investing in things, we want to trust that investment and feel connected to the person behind the business. We don't consciously do it, but this is what we do. So showing you in your business is so, so powerful. But I know it can come with fear. So how do we get over that? Well, firstly, I really get the appearance anxiety. I get it. I absolutely struggle with this too. And I know talking about weight can be hugely triggering for some. So trigger warning. I am someone who has had fluctuating weight, and I have definitely had huge insecurities about my body. And I know a big reason for me not being visible at times can be feeling like, oh, people are going to see that I've put weight on. People are going to think I look fat. And that feels so big. Yet I know rationally that that is absolute nonsense. So really, am I going to let the feeling that someone might think that of me limit my business? Am I going to let the thought that someone might think that about me stop expectant parents hearing about my wonderful services? Am I going to let that be that big? Now, it's baby steps. It absolutely is. So I am someone that says, if you feel conscious of your appearance and you want to be visible in your business, it is okay to do that more at times where you feel better about yourself. And I am not saying wait until you have lost the weight that you want to lose or whatever. What I am saying is there will be days where you feel like, okay, my hair's a bit better today, I've done my makeup, whatever it may be. And if that is more of an incentive, if that's not an incentive, but more of a comfort in being seen, that's okay. That's totally okay. Don't feel that, you have to show up every day, no matter what you feel about how you look or feel, It's okay to be like, right, I've done my hair, I've done my makeup today. I'm going to actually take, loads of photos. I'm going to even change my clothes so it looks like I've done it on different days. Or if you're at a stage in your business where you're comfortable doing talking on camera, filming a batch, filming a batch because you feel better about yourself. That's totally okay. Someone once at one of our in-person days that we have at Love Your Birth, every year we have a wonderful inspiration day in person for all our students and graduates that want to come along. And we were talking about visibility and we were talking about, being more visible in the business. And somebody asked this question and they said, I sometimes use filters when I go on Instagram stories. And they said, and I feel really bad about that because I know it's bad. I shouldn't be, so unhappy with my appearance that I feel I can only do it with a filter. And I feel like, it makes my clients think that I'm inauthentic because I'm using a filter. My response was this: you do what you have to do, You do whatever it takes to get you out there sharing your message. And if that does mean putting a filter on means that you are so much more likely to be visible, can't get my words out today, visible online, it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Now, personally, I'm not a big fan of filters, and I definitely think, when I see people using filters, I think, oh, you don't need to. No one expects you to look a certain way. But my God, if that's what it takes for them to feel more confident on camera, blooming go for it. Because your message is too important to hide away with, So do what you have to do. But get visible, You are what people are buying into. If they're coming to your, pregnancy relaxation class or baby massage class, or they're employing you as a sleep consultant, they want to get a feel for you. And by sharing more of you, and that might include sharing what you look like so they feel that connection, that's going to be powerful, Now, if I could go back and do my business all again, I tell you what I'd do differently. When I started out, I spent money getting a logo made for my business. Okay, so Love Your Birth just as it is today, was my business name, and I spent money getting a logo made, and I loved my first logo. It had like a pregnant bump as the bee. It was great. I loved it. And I felt like I had to have that made to represent my brand. And I hid behind that logo. Of course I did. That was what represented my brand. If I could go back and do something different, I would go back, and instead of having a logo made, I would pay for a professional photo shoot. I would have a photographer take some decent photos of me. So I had a range of 8, 10, maybe even more good photos that I could share happily on my website, in social media, whatever it may be. And because they were professional, I'd feel like, they presented a great image of what I was like, and I'd always have those photos to hand. 2 years later, I got some photos done. But my goodness, I wish I'd have done that earlier, because that would have helped me get visible as the face, the representation of my brand. Logo? Who needs a logo, really? And if you want to get a logo, get one. But in actual fact, we very rarely need a logo for anything. And actually, showing you can be so much more powerful. Okay. Now, you might be already quite comfortable sharing photos of you as the face of your business. Okay. My challenge for you is to share a bit more, There's a bit of a myth going around that, Instagram is all about B-roll content. Have you heard that? That term that's talking about like, basically like behind the scenes roll. Someone filmed like themselves making a cup of tea and they put text over it. And I absolutely use this in my business. But often B-roll might be like, I don't know, a picture of a river flowing, and that social media loves this. Yeah, B-roll reels, super easy to do, super easy to do and likely to be seen by people. But actually, you getting on a video and talking for 15 seconds, that's going to be more powerful. That's going to build that connection. Yeah, it might not get as many likes, but it's going to build this relationship with the people that are there following your service. So when we say like, oh, this is the best way to, get likes on Instagram, is that what we want in likes, or are we wanting bookings? I know what I'm wanting. The likes just make us feel good. Actually, the real talk is actually the messages wanting to book, the bookings on your website or whatever it may be. That's so much more likely to come with that human to human connection. Also know that when you create things like that, so if you do set yourself the challenge of creating a few short videos that you could share, and you could share this anywhere, like I've talked about social media there, but that could be on your website, if you've got one. If you can create something like that, you can use them time and time again, because you talking about why you do what you do, for example, is still relevant for clients that find you in 3 months' time, So this stuff is important. It's the stuff that actually doesn't take a lot of time, but I understand it can be super, super scary. It's steps, So if you are at the stage in your business where you are currently not sharing photos of you, set yourself the challenge to share one, Share a picture and tell the people who you blooming are. If you're someone that does this from time to time, go have a look at anything that you use in your business marketing and think, am I sharing it frequently? Could I do more of that? Do more. Or maybe you're someone that does share the person behind the brand, but maybe you could do it more. Maybe your challenge could be to film a short video that's going to be on your website, Maybe you're going to, create a short video that's going to be pinned to the top of your Instagram. Or maybe you're going to talk on Instagram stories. But set yourself the challenge to do something bolder that allows people to connect with you as the person behind the business. That will absolutely help your business thrive. Also know that the first time you do things like that, it will feel super awkward. You might feel like you're pretending. Yeah, pretend. Fake it. Just like we do when we go to an interview and inside, like we've got all those nerves. We put a bit of a front on. You are showing up as that business. So if you're a hypnobirthing business, you are showing up as that hypnobirthing teacher. You're introducing yourself in the way that you would to your clients, And the more that you do it, the less it will feel awkward. The less that it will feel uncomfortable. But guess what? At every stage of doing this, you'll make errors. You'll stumble over your words, just like I've blooming done in this podcast episode today, But does it detract from what I'm saying? No. Do you expect me to be perfect? Hopefully not. Again, no. Actually, does it make me more relatable to you, the fact that I'm not perfect? That I do have an accent? That I do say silly stuff? That I do laugh at myself and don't take myself too seriously? All makes me more relatable, just like it will for you. And when you get more comfortable being the face of your business, you will do more and more and more. If I hadn't have taken those first steps, would I have felt that I could, create some video modules for my training? No, because it'd have been my first time in front of the camera and I'd have been petrified. But I'd taken those steps all the way before. And you can do that too. So, set yourself the challenge to do something a little bit bolder. Being more seen, showing who you are, and allowing that to feel scary. Because next time, it will feel less scary. And if you'd like to, I would love for you to tag me in whatever you do. So if you do it on social, I suppose this only does apply for social media, doesn't it? But if you do something on social media, tag me in it, because I would love to see you being bolder. I would love to cheer you on. So on Instagram, my handle is loveyourbirth_training. Tag me in your step to being bolder, because I would love to cheer you on. Do it for yourself, do it for your business, and do it for those people that need to hear about your services. And keep on changing lives. I shall see you next time. Take care. Bye. Thank you for listening to Rockabye Revenue. I hope this episode has left you with some fresh ideas and bundles of motivation. If you enjoyed this episode, do make sure you click subscribe so you never miss an installment. And if you found this episode useful, I'd love you forever if you leave a 5-star review, helping this podcast reach the ears of more of the helpers in this world. And remember, keep changing lives. See you next time.